All this computer hacking is making me thirsty.
All I wanna do is drink beer for breakfast.
Suds and Security.
All I wanna eat is them barbecue chips. All I want is someone just to try to protect us.
It's time for Suds and Security.
Hey, Greg, how are you?
What's up, John? How you doing today?
At first, I'd like to say that we are in our new digs.
New digs.
2211 Widman Way, the Cyber Training Center, and I'm very, very excited. I know we're not open for business yet, but
No.
oh my God, we're close.
We're
real
close. We're sitting in the place that will be our little lounge called the Dead Code Cafe, right?
Yeah.
Dead Code Cafe Studios, we're calling it right now. And we're presenting the Suds and Security video podcast today.
All
Awesome.
right.
I'm pretty
Yes,
excited to do it
I'm
here.
very excited. Before we get started,
That-
I got some stuff we have to do here. Our beer today is sponsored by Stick Boy Creative, so thank you, Stick Boy.
Love those
They're
guys.
at 6214 Presidential Court in Fort Myers. You can call them at 239-206-1193 or stickboycreative.com. They're more than an agency. Stick Boy Creative is an award-winning web design, custom software, and digital marketing studio based in Fort Myers, Florida, that specializes in creative thinking, application development, and taking your company to the next level. So thanks, Stick Boy. What kind of beer you
Jesus
got?
H. Christ, I don't know how you got
I know.
all that out, man.
I about threw up. I'm drinking a Sam Adams Winter Lager today in honor of the holidays.
I'm going totally old school. Coors Golden.
I love
mean,
that.
Look at that.
It's
Boom.
the banquet beer.
I mean, come on. You can't give me...
That was awesome. So, and can I also say that I'm sporting my Ohio State koozie that one of my students handed me last night.
I just threw up
It was
in
the
my
last
mouth.
night of class, so go Buckeyes. So
Yeah.
there we go.
I'm sporting our local millennial
Cheers.
guys, you know.
Cheers. Millennial Brewing. Yeah, love them.
How about them some other time, right?
Oh, that's good.
It is
Good stuff.
Beer's
So
good.
what are we going to talk about today?
So it is the holiday season, yes?
Oh, I'm sorry. I was
Yeah,
doing
well,
some
no,
shopping on my
yeah,
phone.
Exactly. What would you find on that phone?
I'm sorry.
Some good stuff?
I did some. Yeah, I found some cool apps that let me shop and
Get, like,
stuff like that for the
like
holidays.
big discounts?
Yeah. By the way, happy Hanukkah to our Jewish friends.
Sure.
So that I know that's coming
all
up.
those
12 days.
holidays.
They get 12 days of presents.
Yeah,
We
well.
get one.
Yeah, well,
Kind of BS, but
yeah, what are you going to do?
so doing a little shopping on the phone. I got some awesome deals, some cool things that.
What kind of information do you have to give out for that? Access to your camera?
Well, yeah, you normal stuff. You give out your street address, credit card information. I mean, the normal stuff you give out to everybody.
Uh-huh.
What's the big deal?
Because are you sure those apps are not fake apps?
Fake. I don't even know what a fake app
So
is.
let's talk about that a little
Okay.
bit. So, one of the things we see a lot around holidays, and even not around holidays, but since people are, online shopping a ton, are applications for your mobile devices and other devices that are not legit, right? So fake apps, right? And this happened a while ago with Netflix. They had a big problem with that on the iTunes store. There was a fake Netflix app, and it looked like Netflix, looked like you logged into Netflix, but you had to give them a whole bunch of information, a whole bunch of access to your device, and all that kind of stuff. And there's a ton of them out there. I think you found some right here, right?
Yeah, I mean, one of the cool things an easy way to spot these folks is it looks like it's Foot Locker, but it's actually not Foot Locker. It's Footlock.
Footlock.
There's no R on it. There's a company out of China. It's not a real company, but they made the app and left off the R and put about, I think there were 16 or so apps that were attached to this one company.
Right.
And they collected your information and used it for ill-gotten gain.
So I think we probably need to talk a little bit about how can we tell some of these apps are fake, right? So how do you go on there? Maybe you download it, you don't know, maybe you're not real familiar. I can tell you some of the things that we've seen, just so everybody's kind of aware. But one of the things you'll see with a lot of these fake apps is you'll start seeing a ton of advertisement, right? So you'll see ads pop up. They're going to ask you when you first install the app for a lot of information off your phone. Can I have access to your camera? Can I have access to your location? Can I have access to your contacts? Can I have access to on and on and on and on? So that's kind of the first red flag. The second one is, again, you start seeing a lot of advertising content that you're not used to seeing on there. Kind of another flag of a fake app. And the third way to kind of look is look at the developer of the app, right? So that's one of the things, sometimes ratings don't really help, right? Because people can go on there and give a lot of fake ratings and things like that. But do a little research into the developer of the app. Make sure that they're legit. They actually are developing apps for the people you think you're downloading from. And watch out for some of that advertisement stuff, because it gets, those fake apps no different than malware, in my opinion, right? I mean, I think they, having access to your location and cameras and microphones and contacts and all that stuff is no different than malware, in my opinion.
I think the key is for everybody out there, the people like me who just, we're always in a hurry, and Greg's the same way. We're type A's and we're always in a hurry. But I think you have to take your time, right? You have to slow down, look at the application, look at what it is, where did it come from. You're right. Do some research on the developer, and the reviews. I mean, that's something we could spend 2 days talking about, fake reviews, and I know that most people know about that and how easy it is to forge a review and how many people do it. But don't just look at the reviews. Don't just look at the name real quick and say, oh, this is the one. This is Foot Locker, and it's really not. It's Foot Lock.
Right.
Take your time to look at that stuff. And one of the things that you talked about was the developers and doing a simple Google search. A lot of times, somebody has been smart enough to figure out it's fake before you ever even download it. So do that first, but also look at their contact information. I think one of the things is if people are using the free email services, most legit companies don't use Gmail and Hotmail as their company email addresses. They use their domain name. Now, obviously, that can be spoofed as well, but that's an easy tip. And a lot of these developers overseas, especially in China, they're just whipping them out one right after the other. If it says, Footlock at Gmail or Footlocker even at gmail.com, probably not really the real folks.
And I think people tend to expect, the companies that have these app stores like Apple, like iTunes, or the Google Play Store to be able to kind of to ferret some of these out, and they do. I mean, I think that some of them do good at when they're reported finding them, but they can't. There's so many.
That's the problem.
There's just no way they're going to get them all. A bad one's going to sneak in every now and again. So you just can't take it for granted that, hey, this because it's on the Google Play Store and I have it rooted my phone, or it's on legitimate iTunes, that it's going to be the real app you're looking for. You got to dig in a little. Dig in a little bit deeper.
How's
right?
that chorus?
The banquet beer.
Yeah, I mean that. I sound like that guy. What's that guy's name? That actor that does it?
The banquet beer.
If you
I sound like
if
that
you
guy.
say so.
Oh my god, I sound exactly like him. Maybe it's. Wait a minute. Have another drink, and I bet you I sound just like him.
Oh yeah, keep going. Right, maybe get a couple more out of there. Right. Yeah.
Problem is nobody out there in the audience is drinking, so I hope they are.
You don't know that,
right?
So.
I hope they are. But yeah, so Apple and the Android folks and Google, right? Those are the two big stores, right, where you can download your apps from. I think Apple does probably a little bit better job because their source code is more closely kept and they approve every app, where I don't think that happens with Google.
It does to an extent, but it's not. It's just a little different. I mean, obviously, Apple has control of that pure ecosystem. Not that Google doesn't, but it's just easier to develop for Android.
So the point is, you don't just trust it because it's on either one of those stores, right?
I think you really gotta dig a little bit deeper, and that's kind of with everything with security we talk about. I think is it takes a little bit of due diligence and a little bit of digging in a little bit to kind of not fall victim to some of this stuff. People are so busy, and I get it. We're busy. You're moving through things, but when it comes to things that have access to your personal information and personal information of your family and friends, you got to just take a little bit of time.
Like that's a guy thing, right? I mean, guys are.
I don't think it's just a guy thing.
No, but I mean,
it's a people thing.
As far as like taking our time, like that's like shopping, right? What guy do you know that likes shopping? Right? I mean, I have some gay friends that like shopping, but
there's anything wrong with
that.
But
other than that, though, yeah, I'm not a big I want to just get it done, whether it's Christmas or birthday. So
we're busy. We're busy people, man. We're busy, man.
Women
have
are
things
busy
to do.
too. I just think it's just it's because of our penises. But we'll get into that later. But I mean, it really is a guy thing, right? You just slow down, man. Enjoy Christmas shopping, right? Remember how it used to be when you were a kid, right? Or Hanukkah shopping or any holiday. We support all people. We love all, serve all, right? But I think just slow down and take a look at stuff.
Well, again, that's anything in security, in my opinion. You have to slow down and kind of just, again, if it looks too good to be true, it probably is, type scenario. Especially with some of these apps, when they offer, these steep discounts or whatever, whatever kind of sales pitch they'll use to kind of get in
and
there.
And the cool thing, it's not cool, but the cool thing is they actually follow through with the whole purchasing process, right? So you get on this app, you download it, you log in, you do your thing, you do your shopping, it takes your credit card, it says, okay, in 4 days you're going to have your product, and of course in 4 days you don't have shit. But I mean,
and some of them may even do that. I've heard of some of them that actually do end up delivering product.
Oh, really?
Right? But
even better.
What they're trying to get, though, is again,
is your data.
They're getting all the other data from it and all the stuff on your phone, which is valuable to them. That who knows, once you give them access to your web browser or whatever, they're going to track all that stuff. They're going to track what sites you're going to. They're going to have all that information, who you're sending it to, who especially with your phone and mobile apps. I mean, if you give them access to your microphone, your keyboard, what else they need, your camera. I mean, now all of a sudden it's everything you ever do on your phone. Every phone call you make, every picture you take, I'll be watching you.
Hey, that's the song. I just also one other big thing to check, and it just popped in my head because of the footlock versus footlocker. Grammar, that's a huge thing. Typically, folks in China.
Yeah, but I can't spell for shit either.
Yeah, but it's not just spelling; it's grammar. It's how they word things and how it may be readily apparent that it's not Foot Locker, because I'm sure they pay millions, to have that stuff proofed. So
sorry, I can't figure out what my laptop keeps blanking out on me. Because,
it's because it's not plugged in. Look at that. First rule of troubleshooting is make sure it's plugged in. I mean, I can't tell you how many times that's gotten me for hours and hours of research.
Anyways.
So, we got like 3 minutes left here. Let me go over real quick what we just talked about. But, basically don't trust reviews. Look at the actual app. Make sure it is from who it says it is. Take some time, guys, especially guys. Take some time. Look at the app. Look at the developer. Make sure they're legit. Do a quick Google search. You're going to get reviews. You're going to see them. I always look at the 1 stars versus the 5 stars, right? But let's talk a little bit real quick here, because we got to get going. I got stuff going on here. I don't want to talk about it. I got a lot of Christmas shopping stuff going on. But talk about the Cyber Training Center. I mean, we're getting ready to open here in about 30 days. What's going to go on?
I'm excited.
Hopefully.
We're opening this great facility. I think it's going to be excellent. We have some rooms to do some cyber training in, whether it's for end users, seminars, web-based training seminars, and things like that. Hopefully use some similar stuff like we have here to do some web-based training. We'll be doing incident response training for IT teams. We'll have our nice little vulnerable corp here, which I'll talk about probably in a future podcast, but having some equipment here for people to actually see how vulnerable systems work and that kind of stuff. It's going to be really cool. We'll have some conference space. We'll have a little bit. This will be a little cooler area with some couches and stuff where we'll do some podcasting from.
So we're excited about it.
It's going to be awesome.
One of CDS's Cybersecurity Defense Solutions, one of the companies that Greg and I own, and actually who that's what the spaces we're in now. I mean, the coolest thing about us and our motto is that we want to make security habit, and we want cybersecurity to become habit. And that's why we do the podcast. That's why we have the training center now. We're going to train end users just as much as we're going to train the IT folks. We're going to do live fire security exercises with IT staffs. We're going to train the end users. We're going to get you and your mom in here, and you're going to sit down and you're going to be able to hear some cool techniques and things that are out there, and just make you more aware. Because if you're an educated user, then these kind of fake apps and these other things, they're not going to make the bad guys money, and they're going to quit doing them. So
it just makes it much more difficult. I mean, like we say all the time, you need some, especially if you're a company, you need some level of technology to help protect you. But technology is not the answer to the question, or answer to the problem, I should say. In the long run, it really is an education problem. It really is, again, these are people trying to commit crimes against individuals, so you hate to blame the victim, but if you have a little bit of education, it's why people take self-defense classes. It's why people take, concealed carry classes and all those type of things, because they want to learn to defend themselves. It's no different with cybersecurity. You have to, understand the threats that are out there so you can defend yourself against those threats. And education is key to that. And I think that's what we can help do here in a very effective manner to get people to understand. Like, it doesn't take a lot, but it takes a little bit of understanding, and that kind of goes a long way to make the criminals' jobs just that much harder.
Yeah, and that's what it's all about, right? We want the good guys to win.
Absolutely.
So anyway, you got any last thoughts here?
That's it on the fake app part for now. We have other stuff to talk about. Hopefully here pretty soon we'll try to do these. We keep saying we try to do these more often, right?
Work gets in the way.
Yeah. And
this is
things
fun.
Like
work gets in the way.
This really is fun. Hopefully once this space is up and running, we can do some daily video blogs or something. I think that's a good idea.
All right.
We'll see how it goes.
Cool. Well, hey, by the way, if you're looking to sponsor beer, you can do that for us.
Sponsor my
beer.
Right.
You can just email us at info@cybersecdefense.com. info@cybersecdefense.com. You can send emails there. Tell us what you like, what you don't like, whatever.
Put your logo up here, all that fun stuff.
Yeah, sudsandsecurity.com is where you can find us. I'm John.
I'm Greg.
Thanks for visiting us here at our new spot.
CTC.
Right, CTC,
All right.
Whitman Way in Fort Myers.
See you guys.
Bye-bye.